All right, everyone. Welcome back to Tampa Bay Cop Talk. I'm Darius.
I'm Jordan.
We never quite figured it out.
We'll figure it out one of these days.
Who are you?
I said I'm Andrew.
Oh,
No, you
okay.
didn't. All right, I'm David.
I swear to God, I did.
That's
we want to
David
do
up there.
take two?
No, we're
No,
doing
we
it.
just see.
No, we're leaving it in, guys.
Yeah.
Now,
That's how it goes.
Liverpool just took the first 3 points in Champions League play, taking out Ajax by the final score of 1-0. Own goal to get the win for Liverpool in Holland. And, well, guys, it wasn't a great game of football. But there were some things to look at. There were some things to take away from the game. Fabinho being a monster, Gini Wijnaldum back in his homeland, and yes, the missing of Virgil van Dijk, but guys stepped up and some guys did not. David, what was your big takeaway from tonight's game?
Fabinho gets a 99 out of a 100 on the performance scale for sure. I'm not like, if you were nervous, just remember that like Van Dijk isn't the only stud we have around, because Fabinho was incredible in this match. Him and Gomez together were good, or like were great. Gomez had a very good game too, I thought, other than, the early thing with Adrian. But no, Fabinho was he was a Rolls Royce all night. He was incredible. He was exactly what we needed to ease a lot of fears. I think someone said that he's a better center back than Harry Maguire now. I was like, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. So yeah, I just felt very reassured by his performance. And then I thought Robbo was everywhere. He was killer. Outside of that, I just didn't think there was a whole lot to talk about. It was a super sloppy game. The front three get pulled on a half hour. Shaq, Minamino, and Jota all come in. Jota was lively, but for the most part, I mean, it was just a slugfest at that point. It was one of the sloppiest games you'll see all year probably from us. But you've got to be able to win ugly, and that's what this was. So, I mean, it's a performance of a champion in my mind.
Well, Jordan, they won ugly, but are you happy with the 3 points, or did they leave a little bit out there for you? Did you want them to get a little bit more going?
I mean, on the back of everything that has happened in the last 2.5 weeks of Liverpool Football Club, getting the 3 points is all you could have asked for. It would have been nice if it was like 3-4-0 and Mo and Mane and Bobby were all clicking, but it was kind of batten down the hatches, get through it and get the 3 points and get out of there time. And we did that job, and that's important for building forward. Like David said, I mean, Fabinho was superb. He came in against Bayern Munich in the first leg with Joel Matip and did a 0-0. And then he played center back a couple weeks ago and looked quite good as well. Was that against Chelsea or was it against Arsenal? Was it Chelsea?
Chelsea.
Yeah. So obviously, quite clearly, not only is he a very, very world-class number 6 defensive midfielder, he's a very accomplished center back somehow, even though he's never really played there before. And it does ease some fears in regards to the loss of Virgil van Dijk. And it was good to see that, even with Adrian doing his best to do Adrian things at certain points in time. And yeah, Robbo was everywhere, and it's just good to slug it out sometimes and come out the other side with 3 points, because the grand scheme looking forward, you've now won one of your away games in the Champions League. If you win all your home games now, you're probably most definitely qualified. So it's a step in the right direction. It's a good platform to build off of in the Champions League run and where we are at in the season right now.
Now, one person who I'm kind of surprised is not anxious or worried about that game. Andrew, you're all good with that performance, huh?
Dude, I know it's weird. It doesn't make sense. It's like we're in the upside down. I'm fine, dude. Like, listen, I was half watching the first half due to work, but for me, a couple things. Number one, El Flaco, Fabinho, he's everywhere. He's immense. I'm fine with that. He stays healthy, we'll be all right, as long as the other two stay healthy as well. That being said, and also shout out to Gini Wijnaldum for the sense that we were talking off air. Like, the dude in the last few minutes somehow found like a Tesla battery of fuel and was able to keep cranking and going and so on and so forth. So, and then he showed us a bit of, Netherlands national team Gini towards the end there. I thought he was going to get that goal. Unfortunately, it didn't happen, but credit to him and his effort, that mentality, so to speak, to do that. And then, of course, from a performance standpoint, I was thinking in my head, I was like, if you told me this was a preseason game, I would have been like, yeah, okay, that makes sense. Like, it was that kind of game, but that's fine because at the end of the day, it was a European away game, and the absolute kind of dark art, so to speak, that Milner employed in the last few minutes, I just loved it. I loved that how he, of course, he had cramps. It is what it is. But then he's like, I'm just gonna take this ball to the corner. I'm gonna fall down. I'm gonna take some time. Blah blah blah. It was just, I mean, but more, So to piggy back off that is like, it was interesting to see in the first half that we were playing deeper a little bit than normal on what we normally play. So I was curious as to whether that was by design in terms of like, okay, we're missing Van Dijk, if this is like a mental thing, or if this was like, or as I said, it was by design by Klopp saying, let's play a little bit deeper. And at the end of the day, we played counter-attacking football in the first half, so that's fine with me. I mean, it was like an old school, like European performance, away performance. So I'm cool with that. And then at the end of the day, we got the hump off our back, or monkey off our back, whatever that phrase is. 3 games on the spin without a win. We got the 3 points. It is what it is. And then in terms of what Jordan was saying, if you can win your home games, we qualify. But also from a fitness standpoint, we have Ajax on December 1st, and December 9th, we have the Denmark team. I'm not going to pronounce that. So for me, if we can get close to qualification around that particular time period, we can maybe rest some players. Maybe Curtis Jones plays a full match. You know what I mean? So because, December is going to be, crazy in the Premier League. And obviously that's the focus. So if we can lock up a qualification as soon as possible, then, by all means. So for me, I got nothing but positive things to say. I know it doesn't make any sense. The only negative I would say is Bobby still lacks a bit of something, maybe a bit of hot sauce. I don't know. He needs something. And maybe we'll see Minamino, maybe not this weekend, but maybe the game after, maybe a month. Maybe it's too soon to pull him out of the team. I don't know. But the point being is that that's the only concern I would have, is that Bobby's showing still, I don't know. Maybe he needs to see a therapist.
Not looking as clinical, not looking like he's trying to score a ton.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, yeah, but other than that, I got nothing but positive things to say. It makes no damn sense. Makes no sense.
That's a big result. You want to get 4 points off of Ajax, 4 points off of Atalanta, and 6 off of the Danish side. Yeah. And that gets you through guaranteed. So we're already off to a killer start, considering that you'd normally take a win at home and a draw away.
Yeah.
And then also,
sorry, go ahead, Andrew.
Sorry. And then one thing is, who saw the fact that, okay, we have 5 subs, and I'm like, great, we'll rest some people, great, somehow. But who saw that Jurgen Klopp was like, yeah, I'm just going to take a front 3 off at the same time?
The whole
who
front
saw
3.
that he had the testicular fortitude to do that? And I was just like, usually you pay double for that, Cotton, and I'd love to see that. So that was really cool to see from Jurgen Klopp. I never thought I would see that in a non-preseason game, so that was interesting.
No,
yeah, I
a
mean,
bold move.
it was telling because it was planned, like at 60, and it was going to happen whether we were winning by 5, drawing, or we were down by 1. And he decided that before the game, which I thought was more interesting because Klopp is more of a every single game as it comes, every single minute as it comes sort of manager. And for him to have a pre-planned triple substitution, I guess on one hand, speaks to a bit of flexibility and maybe his priorities being elsewhere. Maybe we are fully focused on the league as the first priority still. But it also maybe speaks to the confidence that he has in the second group, where it's like, I don't care where we're at in this game. I know I can put these 3 in and we can still be able to accomplish the type of things we want to.
Well, I mean, I think it is telling, though, that when that front 3 or the second front 3 came on, you didn't see much of a miss with Diogo Jota in for Sadio down that left-hand side. Him and Robbo, I mean, they look like they've been playing together for years, the way that they were combining. It looked like what you would expect to see with Robbo and Jota going back and forth. So, I mean, that certainly has to make you feel a little bit better.
Yeah, Jota, Mr. 40 goals, baby. That's it.
Mr. 40 goals.
You got to watch the space. It's going to happen.
I think it was an important moment for Shaq, too, So
Yeah, because Shaq, he's alive. He exists.
Yeah, he exists. He's still playing for us, and he still has a role. So that was good to see. We just talked about that on the last episode about whether or not we'd see him. So
Yeah, and what's interesting is we saw him over the likes of like Divock Origi.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
To be honest.
Like a lot has been said about Shaq not being able to play the Jurgen Klopp system and all that sort of stuff. And Divock Origi isn't necessarily much better on the wing, but it's just interesting that he decided to go to Shaq over Divock Origi.
I mean, is that as simple as he's left-footed?
It might be.
Yeah, maybe.
It also might be as simple as the fact that Shaq hasn't had any really game time forever, and he just needs to get it going. And has loads of Champions League experience with Inter Milan, Bayern Munich, FC Basel. His whole life, except at Stoke City, has been played in the Champions League. So maybe he has to do something with that. I don't know. Maybe there's grand plans for Divock Origi against Sheffield United. Who knows?
I mean, maybe because Divock does this thing where he just takes 2 touches and sticks it in the back of the net sometimes. So
yeah, it's true.
Sometimes you just need that guy.
But I think it's interesting. You're right, guys, in terms of, like, for example, Shaq playing the 30 minutes, Minamino and so on, is that, again, long term, we're going to have a lot of games thick and fast, not so far from now. So I think, and a lot of these folks, I guess Shaq, him being injured, him getting a false positive with COVID, like, has he had a proper preseason? Like, so maybe this is that, like, first preseason game for him, so to speak. So for me, again, I think Klopp and the boys and the medical staff are thinking long term and, in that department. So we'll see. And obviously at the end of the day, we have what we didn't have years ago. We have depth. It's like, oh, there's Sheridan Shaqiri. Oh, okay, cool. We have another great footballer on the pitch. Is he Salah? Is he a world beater? No, but he would get into a lot of Premier League teams. So I'm happy with that. And hopefully they all keep clicking and firing and all that stuff. So again, nothing but positive things to say about this in terms of the mental side of it, of getting this 3 points. Maybe this will also give belief to, the likes of, Gomez and so on, that like, oh, I can command this shit. I got this. I'll be all right.
Number of encouraging performances. Fabinho being out of position at center back. Robertson looking like he's back at 100% and he's back at his lively self. Henderson coming on in the second half looked very strong as well. I kind of want to focus for a minute on Gini Wijnaldum because he's not going to get too many man of the match type accolades, but I really thought in that second half he looked strong. Jordan, you said before the game you expected this to be a game where Kurt Jones goes and gets his goal, but it kind of looked like that was Gini in the second half, where he's kind of playing that role where we expected a little bit out of Curtis Jones. I mean, what'd you take away from the performance from Gini?
Yeah, once Jordan Henderson came on at halftime, Gini was given a little bit more freedom. Obviously, when you have a youngster in there, you got to cover for him a little bit. And, you know, just on Curtis Jones' behalf, it wasn't very impressive. It wasn't great or anything, but, you know, I was just hoping he would, in the same vein as Scousers before him, score on his Champions League debut, a la Trent Alexander-Arnold, but whatever, we can all dream. But yeah, Gini is very, very good. And he is a world-class Dutch midfielder, which has a lot of connotations to it and evokes a lot of names of really great players that have played down the years. And it's not a disservice to that lineage of Dutch midfielders to mention Gini in that breath. And it's appropriate that going back to his homeland against a rival team in a stadium he used to play in, albeit with dreadlocks and not a shaved head, which I do dearly miss and wish he would bring back. However, I digress. Yeah, he was class. He was very class, especially in the second half going forward. And there was a lot of situations where I felt like he was letting those young Dutch players know, like, no, listen, I am your daddy. Listen to me. I am the boss. Look at me. I am the captain now. Because he was putting on a masterclass, winning the ball back in certain situations, being in the right positions to win rebounds at the top of the box and recycle it out to the fullbacks, turning in space, playing passes. He was a colossus, a dynamo. Box to box, everything you want. And it's funny because it does look as though maybe the contract situation isn't going to be sorted out. And I know we're all fawning over Thiago, but I think we have a player in Gini Wijnaldum that if he does leave and plays on the continent for 2 or 3 years, people will be talking about him in the same breath as they do as the Thiagos. And as I mentioned earlier, the long lineage of great Dutch midfielders. But yeah, you're right to bring him up because he was very, very good tonight.
And Andrew, your man, I mean, you said, please, Genie, don't go. He's thick as a milkshake. And I mean, it felt like he never lost a ball
booty.
tonight. It was fun to watch.
That
honestly.
booty, man. Listen.
He's got that booty. He knows how to use it, man.
That booty. He just like stiff arms people, but with his booty instead. But yeah, no, like his performance. I mean, this is exactly the kind of thing why I don't want him to go. However, there were glimpses of, again, Netherlands national team Genie, where he was going for, he was bombing for. Again, he almost had that goal in the 89th minute. It was a shame. I yelled at his. Yeah, he should have had that. It is what it is, though. But again, all positive. I'm just like, I'm more like, if this was a meal, I'm more interested to have the meal of Genie and Thiago on the pitch together and see what happens there. But yeah, man, nothing but positive. Like Jordan already said it, and then I said it earlier in terms of like I wasn't just impressed. Again, his fitness level. I don't know where he got it from because no one else seemed to have that on the pitch tonight, and he did. So again, but we know Genie's been a steward for the club for the past few years, and he's shown that. So for anyone to doubt his quality is just kind of like, it's just kind of similar to the Henderson conversation. It's like, if you don't understand where his quality comes from, it's just like I can't help you anymore, at this point. So again, another example of me not freaking out. I don't know what's going on.
His performance tonight reminded me of another performance that he had back in the 18-19 season against Arsenal at home. It was one of those games where, it was Arsenal away, and we ended up drawing. It was one of those games where like the performance doesn't get the result that it justifies, but he's just everywhere, winning the ball back, cutting down passing lanes, making all the right defensive plays, doing all the right things in possession. And it's just one of those players that, like, it's not, if you watch and you don't know kind of how we play, you might think, well, that guy was just kind of a passenger, but he's really the guy that keeps it going. He's one of those guys that helps keep the engine running smoothly and oftentimes keeps us from running at our own goal in panic. So he's just a massive player for us. And if we lose Genie, you will feel it. I promise.
Yeah. Don't go, Genie.
Yeah, man. Just sign on for like 2 more years.
Yeah, man.
We have till December, January. If it doesn't get sorted by mid-November, though, you can start saying your goodbyes, I would say.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Damn it,
Oh, and
Jordan,
then-
why you got to be right all the time? You were
then
right
before-
about the ACL injury. I don't want you to be right about this, damn it. Shut your mouth.
He gave us good 5 years if he does go, and won us everything that we could ever want. So I wouldn't
Yeah.
begrudge him.
Brilliant servant of the club.
And like
Never say a
again,
bad word.
Dutch midfielders don't stick around anywhere. They like to hop around. Think about Clarence Seedorf, Edgar Davids, Marco van Basten. As far back as you want to go, Frank Rijkaard, like all of them. They like to hop around. They don't like to stick around. They leave their home country and then they go to try to conquer all the little other countries around Europe. It's just what they do. So I wouldn't
Imagine him in Italy.
I honestly,
Barcelona
Barcelona
5 more years there.
Barcelona needs him. They haven't replaced Xavi or Iniesta properly in that midfield, and they need someone with his steel. And I can see why Ronald Koeman wants him. And I can see how it would benefit them, unfortunately. But enough about that's down the line. I do want to shout out the fact that Reece Williams got an appearance at center back.
Oh, yeah, he was my man of the match, man.
So like last year he's playing in the conference league, not even league football, like
Really?
5th tier of English football on loan, and now he's playing in the Champions League group stage. Life comes at you really fast, man.
Can I just say, not to like take it back to Fabinho, but did you see his heat map?
Yeah.
No.
He's in midfield as much as he's in
Yeah.
defense.
So I mean,
It's
going
insane.
forward, we can talk about this going forward, but like there's going to be a coming to Jesus moment where he has to remember that he is not a midfielder, because
Yeah.
it's going to get him in trouble eventually if he
against
doesn't-
different opponents.
Well,
He
it's not just
doesn't
that.
really-
He has to also remember he doesn't have Van Dijk next to him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good, but please don't leave him on an island in that way.
Not even that. He doesn't have anyone behind him. And like in the heat of the moment, he's used to the idea that if I miss this tackle, there's 2 guys behind me. I'm trying to remember. He played a game at center back where that happened. It was sometime last season. I
Wolves.
can't remember.
Was it Wolves?
in the
Yeah.
FA Cup
NFA?
Yeah.
because he had
Kiana.
Homer
Yeah,
next
he
to
ended
him.
up because Lovren had to go out, and there was a scenario where he came all the way off the back line in the midfield to make a tackle, and then they just took the space in behind him and took advantage of it. So the heat map, I saw it, and it was like, wow, this man's all over the place. But as time moves on, we need less
rein it
heat,
in a bit.
less heat on the map, a little more concentrated heat.
Although I think that was more of him just pushing forward, more doing his Joel Matip thing where you just get the ball from the middle and then, all right, I'm just going to keep running. Y'all don't want to stop me.
None of our center backs have the passing range. Oh, I guess Van Dijk has the passing range, but none of them have the passing range and the shooting ability and the attacking awareness that he has. So that's the thing, though, is like you take him out of the 6 and you lose a lot of that. Granted, we have, Thiago around, Jordan Henderson's around, Gini Wijnaldum's around that can fill in and do a decent job. But yeah, losing that out of him, it's like the same reason why I always argue why Trent should go to the midfield. Yes, I got it in there because we're just not using all of his potential.
All right. Well, I think we've spent about enough time on this game. Anything else anybody want to say about Liverpool won against Ajax? Horse
The
with
Reds.
brush anybody?
The Reds smoked Ajax in Amsterdam, and that's the headline, right?
All right, so let's move on to the game coming up at the weekend. Liverpool is going to be taking on Sheffield United. Well, it's going to be one of those games where you're going to have to figure out who's going to be ready to go. So apparently Thiago is iffy coming into the game, but likely going to be available. Naby Keita, he was more of a precaution for not being a part of the trip, but he did not travel with Liverpool going to Ajax. So kind of looking ahead, first off, who the hell is going to be ready to play?
I think Hendo will be fine because he only played 1 half, so he'll probably start. Hopefully Thiago's ready to go. I don't know. I was thinking about today. I'm like, when does Ox make his return? I don't even know what his timetable is at this point. But yeah, I think the only one that's probably off the table, well, probably Gini and Milner. He's going to be looking for Naby and Thiago if they're
both good.
If they're available. Yeah, that's probably what it is alongside Hendo. I think you saw that he took the front 3 off so that they would be ready to go. And then I guess it depends on Joel Matip, but it may just be Gomez and Fabinho again and the same back 4 with Adrian. It's tough to say because even if Matip is healthy, does he Like he played like one game and then got a little.
It's almost like there's no point in us picking a front 11 or picking a starting 11 because we don't, one, know who's going to be healthy. And then two, I mean, at this point, you've got so many guys who've been in and out.
I have a gut feeling we're going to see Divock Origi appear in this game. But
yeah, I think your front three starts because that's why he pulled him on 60. I think Naby Keita starts is why he left him at home. I don't know how far along Thiago is. Joel Matip's back in training, but I don't like to David's point. I don't think you start him because you don't want to hurt him as soon as he's gotten back.
You gotta
and now you're
let him
like,
build some strength up.
we
Or
only have
something.
2 center backs. You know,
I mean, what's it been for Matip? Has he played in like 5 consecutive games? I mean, I know we had this conversation.
Yeah.
But other than 2 years ago when they won the Champions League and he had a long stretch since then, has he had consistent stretch?
Well, Gomez kind of stole
year.
the job, really, is what it was.
Yeah, because Gomez
he was healthy, but just sitting on the bench for a good long while.
Yeah.
He had a little run at the beginning of last season on the back of the form for Champions League, and then got hurt. And then Gomez came in and like retook his job. It's that thing we do with our injured players where they get injured and then someone comes in who was injured and was like, oh yeah, remember how boss I am? But yeah, I mean, recently it's becoming more and more of a Dejan Lovren type of thing where you're only going to get 6 games and then he's going to get hurt. He is one of our older center backs, I guess. What is he in his 30s now?
He's 29.
Okay, so he's getting there.
Right there.
He's getting there. I don't want to say he's like injury prone, but it's hard to argue against that point because in the last couple of years, it seems like every time he really gets his fitness up to full fitness and gets really going, he gets a nick or a knock and he's out.
By the way, did you by any chance throw up in your mouth when I sent you that picture with Lovren and the baby come back lyrics?
Oh yeah. I sent that to Scouse Matt and he was like, fuck no, rather see Reese Williams play. And I was like, it's a joke, man. It's a joke.
I was like, Darius, cue that up. That's what we're playing ourselves out to tonight.
Baby come back. Baby come back.
Hey, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that.
So what do you think, Andrew? Joel Matip? Is Joel Matip going in or are you staying with
Fabinho? Here's the thing. So Joel Matip was in and out last season, but the season before he had the running games up into the final, which we won. Obviously, he was alongside Van Dijk. So he's a player. I'm okay with that. However, to your point, like I don't even remember the last time he played. So again, the earlier point that I made about Shaq in terms
Everton. He played against Everton.
Yes.
Did he really?
Yes, he started and played the whole game against Everton.
He played all 90.
What? Yes.
No, I agree with you though. No. To Andrew, to be fair to Andrew. To be fair to Andrew, obviously we were more focused on the Van Dijk Gomez.
Yeah, I completely forgot that
But
that was a thing.
Yeah, he was the other center back.
Yeah, he was.
Oh, that's right. Duh. Anyway, my point being is that here's the thing. It doesn't really matter if he starts or he doesn't start because that's details. I don't really care about that because if he starts, then Fabinho's in the 6 and then you take Matip out, put Thiago in, Fabinho drops back. Like whatever. Who cares? Right. But the thing is, my point that I'm trying to make is I'm not worried if he plays. Right. So, but in terms of the other starting 11, I don't know what the hell is going to happen. And that's what's kind of exciting is because years ago, like you remember the road to Kiev, we could pick the starting 11. My mom could pick the starting 11. We knew what was going to happen. But for now, we have with the games coming thick and fast and the year that we are in now and Van Dijk out and blah, 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 blah. We have no idea how we're going to play. There's people have mentioned, should we do a 4-2-3-1, this and yada, yada. Who knows what we're going to do? And that's what's kind of exciting. And maybe it could benefit us down the road where managers are like, oh shit, I don't know what Liverpool are going to do now. So, because, there was talk of, after the restart, the way we performed and the way we lost a couple games, obviously that was mental because of we basically won the league already. But there was talk of like maybe teams had quote unquote found us out. Right. So I think that's kind of out the window now because I don't know how we're going to play.
Andrew, to your point, to your point, it is kind of a testament to where Liverpool are right now. Like you look at the champions of Europe now, Bayern, what they did in their Champions League first game against Atleti. They didn't have Leroy Sané. They didn't have Serge Gnabry, but they then put in Kingsley Coman, who bags a brace and has an assist on the right-hand side. So the fact that you have so many world-class players you can toss in, that's where Liverpool are at. So, I mean, it is really nice to see. It's just, for us as fans, we're maybe not quite confidently there yet, thinking if everyone being world-class.
Yeah, exactly. If you told me to put $5 down on a starting 11, no, not at all. I'm never going to, no, I can't do that. Hell no. I don't know what the hell is going to happen. So that's kind of exciting from a selfish perspective, but it also runs my anxiety up the gamut because I don't know what's going to happen, right? So that's the only anxious thing that I'll leave you with.
So you need Jurgen Klopp to text you the starting lineup for you.
Yeah, that would be nice. That would be.
I think we can nail it down. Minus one center back, and you pick your midfield three.
For the most
part, Jordan Henderson's going to start. I don't see how he doesn't start Gini Wijnaldum again, based on that performance. Yeah. And then, I think Naby Keita gets a start. Otherwise, I don't know why they left him back home. You know what I mean?
Maybe he's not ready. There's things. Thiago, what their plan is.
There is
and all this stuff.
Zero chance the front three doesn't start. Zero chance. By the way,
Great.
Just
yeah, I know, but intuition tells me that you take them off for 60 minutes. You will then, because you're thinking that you want them to be fresh for the following game. But again, you're right. That doesn't make sense either, because then what you're prioritizing the front three for the Denmark team. That makes no sense.
See, that's the thing. Exactly. So you're playing them against Sheffield, and then Denmark, you're going to see Jota, Minamino, Shaq, maybe Origi. So the next game is this full strength, and you can maybe tweak around with Midget Land coming up next. But
right, but then going forward though in December, that's what concerns me in terms of like what my point.
He's already thinking December.
Yeah,
well, you see where the man lives. His mind is like
people can get hurt. People could come back from injury in that time. Like you can't think about December.
I know, but my anxiety thinks about December, man. My body's telling me no, but my mind is telling me yes. You know what I mean?
Dude, it's December. Like we could have aliens by then.
Yeah, right.
Yes. Let's be honest. That is a month after the election. So
here's my question.
I can't even imagine what
pose
December looks like.
All right.
Sheffield United, by the way, I just wanted to look because they haven't started very well. They are in the relegation zone. They only have 1 point from their first 5 games, so they've been struggling. But are we going to see Rian? Do we face off against Rian?
That worries me.
Do you start Rian to troll Liverpool?
Yeah, because that worries me, because he comes on and he does that bullshit cliche where you score against your old club and this and that. That worries me. I don't like that. That's a bad taste.
I saw him play in their last match and he looked lost. No, he didn't fit yet. They they're still figuring it out. They're not there yet. So, I mean, do we see him? Probably at some point, but I'm not like terrified of it because he hasn't kind of found his way yet.
I mean, that whole team hasn't found their way yet.
Exactly. Yeah, they're just playing like crap. So,
I'm actually trying to pull up their fixtures right now so I can look at them. They lost to Wolves 2-0, they lost to Villa 1-0, they lost to Leeds 1-0, they lost to Arsenal 2-1, and they drew Fulham 1-1.
Yeah, that was the game I watched. And I thought, it's Fulham. Like,
last year Sheffield were like a terrifying prospect. They're going to be very organized, counterattacking football to a T. Are they suffering sophomore slump? Are they as scary as a prospect? We have them at home, which is, no crowd, but still beneficial.
And also, they don't have the goalie anymore. He's at Manchester United.
No, Dean Henderson is back with United.
They went and got the Martinez kid from
Emi Martinez, from Arsenal.
No, he's at Villa.
He's at Villa. No.
Oh no. All right. So who did they get? Because I recognized his name. Oh God, this is gonna bug me now.
Got me now.
Aaron Ramsdale from Bournemouth.
Oh, that's what it was.
Who, by the way, I don't know if I was watching a lot of Bournemouth at the end because I was interested in whether they're going to get relegated. We could sign some of their players. He has a few howlers in him. He has a few. He's a young English goalkeeper, so there's a lot of expectation and hype put on that. But he's not been very impressive. So in that regard, I mean, like this is actually a juicy opportunity on the back of Ajax for us to click the gear up a little more, especially with midget land on the other side of that for the B team to kind of sink their teeth into. And I'm getting excited. Fuck what Andrew has to say. I'm excited.
Oh, you're excited. Looking forward to
I'm
it.
optimistic.
Get out of here with that shit.
Fuck what Andrew has to say.
I didn't say anything. What negative shit did I say?
I don't know. Something about December, and it just blew my mind.
Yeah,
No.
December, in terms of rotation and stuff, it got me a little worried.
Yeah.
You're thinking, the fact that you're thinking 2 months in advance. Like,
Dude, I know.
Man, let's
It's
get there
anxiety,
first.
man.
Let's make sure that
Let's get there first.
just take it 1 week at a time. That's it.
No,
let's
but
make
just-
sure the polar axis of the planet hasn't flipped by then.
We
know?
haven't had a
Rolling
meeting where I
And the
take us all out.
Transformers are coming.
Yeah.
Scrolling through their season and looking at their squad a little bit, I was a little worried about this one because, like, proper English footballing side with the English mentality. Van Dijk's out. There's an opportunity here, lads. Let's get them all off kilter and off edge. But they haven't even figured their own selves out yet to be thinking about exploiting someone else's shortcomings. They have a lot of issues to work out. Namely that they haven't really been scoring goals, and maybe they do have to start Rian Brewster because of that. But I mean, our lads know Rian Brewster probably just as well as he knows our lads. And I would, given that he couldn't break into the first team, back our lads over him.
Yeah, absolutely. Good point, Jordan.
All right, guys, let's wrap it up. Score prediction against Sheffield United. David, we'll start with you.
3-1 to Liverpool, and it's Rian Brewster getting his cliche goal as he subs on. But it doesn't matter because we're up 3-0 at the time.
Like it.
I like that.
So I'm gonna take what David said. I fancied a 3-0, but now I fancy a 3-1. And actually, what happens is Rian Brewster gets subbed on. Adrian has a goal kick, and Rian Brewster's looking around like, wait, what am I supposed to do? And Adrian just kicks it off his head, and it goes into the goal. And that's how he scores his cliche.
I think you're going to notice a theme with these scores. Okay, go ahead, Andrew.
God, I mean, I want it to be 6-0, obviously, but I think I'm going to be a little different, and I'm hoping for 2-1. And I think this I think it'll be a little bit more cagey than my blood pressure is willing to take.
You ever see the movie Inception, Tom Holland? You mustn't be afraid to dream a little bit bigger. Like, don't be afraid, man.
I know, but this is it's just a weekend. It's a 3 o'clock. I don't know, man. Now you got me all worried. Shit.
Okay,
Jordan got me all worried. He was like, fuck, Andrew has to say it. I'm like, oh shit, what do I say?
Well, that's why he says that. That's why he says that.
So
All right,
2-1
anyway,
Andrew. Darius.
I'm thinking it's going to be a 3-1. I'm thinking Adrian gives up his goal to Rian Brewster. In a reverse Dean Henderson type. It's going to be a 3-0 lead, and then right through the hands, right through the 5-hole. And it's just
That's
gonna be
the thing,
like,
right?
Where to go?
That just feels so real already.
Right?
Oh,
Yeah.
We know it's happening.
It's like
it's not even a good shot. It's
It's a
like
crap
he
shot
duffs
outside
it,
the box,
and then he
25
just
yards
goes
out.
to clear it, but then misses the clearance and it rolls into the net.
Oh, we're shit. This is our starting goalkeeper that we're talking
Horse with
about.
a paintbrush.
I feel bad.
Student.
I feel bad.
Yeah,
for, like,
horse with a
dogging on
paintbrush.
him
You're
like
right.
this.
No, but it's funny. It's not even at this point in time. It's not even a question of if he will make a mistake. It is a question of when it happens and how is it punished fully or is it not? Like that's the only question.
Jordan.
Yeah.
Listen, you got to remember, Adrian. He saves when he wants.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
it. When he's asked to save, he'll do it. Yeah.
I mean, he made a few key
yeah.
saves today.
My
He did
only
make a few.
question is when Adrian makes his mistake, how funny is it to us?
Yes.
I
No,
think
not
this
at
one
all.
will be funny.
No,
It's
it's
funny.
if we're up 3-0,
No.
it's hilarious.
Yes.
If it's
Sure.
0-0, it's disturbing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
0-0, then it's Aston Villa nightmares, and then I'm like shit my pants.
Precise.
Yeah. It's all just PTSD coming back, but yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was looking for. Thank you.
All right. Well, Liverpool 3 points in for the Champions League. Got the win off the own goal against Ajax, and looking forward to this game against Sheffield. Let's see if we can get this down right. I'm Darius.
I'm
I'm
Jordan.
David. Oh.
Yeah. Hi guys, my name is Andrew. Nice to meet you.
All right, guys. Up the Reds. We'll get it right eventually. See you next time.